Hi friends, let's continue our Jenkins journey. So till our last video, so we have set up the authentication and authorization, then we seen how the pod template is working. So next step is to configure the shared library pod. So first I will configure the basic shared library, how it is working, and from there we'll develop our further shared library function. So the shared library, usually we have to fetch the functions from the Git repository, but for the learning purpose what we'll do, we'll use the local file system as the Git repository. So for that what we have to do, so first we have to create a volumes. So here volumes, in volumes, so this shared library folder should be exist inside a Jenkins folder. So we have Jenkins folder here. So under this we should have var. So here let's say example hello dot groovy. I have a, for now just will do. So this is how we have to call shared library inside a Git repository. So this one simply we can use something like this also, groovy, and this is how the Jenkins will understand. So the inside whatever file name you are giving, that file name will be considered as the function name. So in this case, so we created hello. So hello will be our function name. Inside this, whatever task we want to execute, so we have to put def call. Under that we have to put all our steps. So let's copy this one. So paste this here. So now, so what we are doing here, if you notice our volumes Docker Compose file, right? So under Jenkins folder, I'm having shared lib folder. This shared lib folder I am mounting inside a Jenkins container /temp shared lib. So just for example, I am using this path, but however you can use the proper path wherever you want. So since it is a file system, this version doesn't matter, but if it is Git based repository, so in that case, whether it is your branch name mostly or your tag version name, so you can give anything here. So another thing I'm saying implicit true, that means for each and every job the shared library will be injected so that we can call our functions easily. Otherwise we have to call the shared library inside a Jenkins file. So for now we will go with the implicit. Later on we'll see how we can call manually. So this is the, if you in this path only we are going to we are keeping all our functions. So by default the Jenkins will understand under any whatever folder we are saying, under that folder it will look for var and then it will look for that particular file name. So here the file name and function name are same. So let's copy this one. This one should be in our Jenkins file. Okay, I think I already pasted this one. So I am pasting this one with this. let's bring up our Jenkins. So we can see Jenkins fully up and running. So let's go and access now. Localhost 8080. So log in to Jenkins. If I go to manage Jenkins, configure system, okay, so here you can see global pipeline libraries. So we given a shared library name, so that's came, then whatever version we have said, that is came, then we are using the load implicitly. That means in all the jobs, in all pipeline jobs, this shared library will be injected, and then we kept the functions under /tem shared lib. So that also it came clearly. I think it looks fine now. So let's go here. Now let's create some dummy job, new test job, pipeline job, save. So if you remember, our function name is hello. So why you are giving hello? So our file name is hello.groovy. So whatever file name, that is the Jenkins will understand that is as the function name. So that's how the Jenkins shared library is designed. So let's save this one, bell. So it is success. So if you see, inside a function I said hello world, that is printing. So why I am using the file system way, because if it is a Git based one, so you have to commit and then you have to publish to the repository. So since it is a development or a learning stage, so I think the file system will be the easiest way to work faster. Otherwise, for each and every change we have to commit, and we have to publish, we have to push our changes to the Git repository. That will take time. So in the final stage of the video, so I will say how to configure using the file system, the Git repository as well. For example, let's say hello world, let's say I'm changing to v2, I'm not going to commit anything, then welcome to Jenkins demo. So now execute our job again. So see hello world v2 and welcome to Jenkins demo. So that's how we can easily develop our shared library functions, and easily we can evaluate as well. So thanks for watching this video. Let's catch up the next video.